Okay, today we're going to 35 acres in Cimarron Ranch. This is Aguilar, Colorado. I just came off of I-25 a couple miles. Aguilar sits, you got a grocery store here. Aguilar sits in between Walsenburg and Trinidad, Colorado, along I-25. And the property we're going to here is about 45 minutes from Trinidad, with big box shopping stores and things like that. And there's a lot of features to this property. I just want to show you this drive as we're going up to it. It has power and a small creek going through it, meadow, 2 access points, real good to drill a water well, and I'll explain all that stuff as we get up here, but I'm going to show you the drive. It's 20 miles from Aguilar up this road, 43.7, but it switches over to 42, County Road 42, and you'll see signs as you come up here, and I'll show you different markers as we're driving up, and a little bit of the drive. So you've got pavement. The last 9.1 miles, 9 miles, is a county maintained graveled road year-round. The property comes right down to the county road, and you have an upper access as well. I'll be taking video into the best build site, showing the creek, the meadow. You're very, very close to a wildlife area and national forest. There's lots of features to this property I really like. Okay, now we're almost 6 miles, but this is where you start to see, we start to get in the tall pines and stuff, and you can see the Sangre de Cristos to the west in the background here. When I get to the property, I'll zoom in on mountain shots because they don't show as big on the video as when you're sitting here in person. About 8.5 miles up here to Golden Air, and I'll show you that up as soon as we get at the top of this hill. The property has very gentle terrain, and it's covered in aspen trees and blue spruce, ponderosa pine, and like I say, it has a meadow and a creek going through it too, and the access is real good. So this is the little old ex-coal mining town of Golden Air, and there's an RV park here. That's the bar, or inn. You can get food there too. And we've got a little RV park, so you can stay there if you wanted to. And you can really start to see the Sangre de Cristos in the back miles of it. Like I said, pavement, and they've been paving 4 or 5 miles a year, and they're going to make this loop. I was going to show you the topo map that I made up for driving here, but there's a loop. If you stay on this road past this property, it takes you all the way back around to Highway 12 going west out of Trinidad. So, and there's another Ringo's grocery store on that side, and it's only about 35 minutes from the property, and it has gas as well. Okay, we're only about 1.5 miles past the little town of Golden Air back there I showed you. And you're going to come up to this juncture, and you stay left. Stay left onto, this would be County Road 42. We got a sign here, yep, County Road 42. And you can see the West Spanish Peak over there. And the pavement goes for another couple miles, and then we'll be 9 miles on county graveled road that's maintained year-round. Pretty. Now the property's basically right over there, but we gotta wind through the valleys here to get over there. Like I said, we only live about 1.5 miles past it. Elevation's about 8,400 feet. For around here, that's where you get the perfect moisture in combination with animals and growing ability and things like that. Water, good water. Now we're coming to the end of pavement. What I like to do is just go ahead and shift into 4-wheel drive, so all tires are working on the dirt. Oh, I was going to tell you, the snow, you know, you get snow up here, but we have 50-degree average winter temperatures, so the snow doesn't stick around long. 3-4 days, If you got a real big one, you might get stuck for a couple days. But there's people that live in the ranch, and most of them are 50 and above. There's about 50 35 acre tracts in the ranch, and I would say about 8 to a dozen full-timers that live in the ranch itself. There's very few homes or cabins built on the properties. It's very private up in here, and it's a real nice ranch. It has covenants, but they're real easy. They're not much stronger than the county regulations, and the yearly road dues are only $100. Taxes are ridiculous, so they're, I don't know, a couple $100 a year. So you really can't beat that for retirement. Okay, coming up here, we're going to be about 14 miles west out of Aguilar, and this is another good road marker so you can understand where you're going. I call this the cement bridge. It's the only one that I know of in the county. The cement bridge. You don't go left there, you stay straight on 42, on County Road 42. Going up, there's a sign there. This canyon is called Herosa Canyon. So now we're in the canyon where the property's at, and we've got 8 miles to go. I'm starting to see the aspens and the blue spruce. Really neat rock formations and dikes. And those Spanish Peaks I was showing you to the north, that's the wildlife area, and that's only about 4.5 miles from the property. And then you have the Spanish Peak wildlife area, that cement bridge back there, 8 miles from the property. You take a right and go about 4 miles, so about 12 miles, and you're going to get to a 5,000 acre state wildlife area. This is where it really starts to get pretty up here in these valleys. Some of my most favorite land in this area, in this county, because it's accessible year-round and it has a lot of great features. Properties like this with the water running through it and meadow. My wife and I have been here for 18 years, and they just don't come up. Still driving up the property, you can see the Sangre de Cristos in the background there real good. This is a real pretty valley, especially in the spring and the late fall. The leaves are just starting to change, but we have like what you would call Indian summers here most of the time. And like today, it's going to be 75 to 80 degrees. It's really pretty. And if you like to hunt, it's going to be tough to find 35 acres like this that you could do that type of activity on if you like, or just watch the animals. Turkey, deer, bobcat, mountain lion, elk, lots of deer, and just about anything else you think of. Bears, yeah, bears. Okay, we're about 17.5 miles, another pretty valley. See the Sangres in the background. This one here, when you're driving by it, in the all up and down this portion of the canyon, all the way to the property, you're going to see herds of elk in the and deer, turkey, in these fields in the early evening and early mornings. And what we're driving through right now is a 20,000 acre ranch. And then there's a 2,000 acre ranch that's right across the road from this tract. So really the only smaller tracts that are available up here are these ones. Okay, we're getting real close to the property. We're only about a half a mile away. Just come around this corner. I want to show you, there's a right hand turn right here that's less than a mile from the property that takes you over to the Spanish Peaks that are the views on this property. Wildflowers, you can see those. The aspens and cottonwoods are just starting to change, and we're about in the middle of September. So right here, this is where you would take a right, and this road goes over, see the West Spanish Peak up there? It goes to the wildlife area. And we're getting real close. Okay, we're just approaching the northeast corner boundary of the property down in the bottom here. You can look at the aerial maps and the topo that I've made up. You see this right-hand turn right here? That's an old county road. All it does is go up in dead ends. But right here where this right-hand turn is where the northeastern corner boundary is. And then all those aspens and things right there is where you make a road and get up on top of that bench right there. Right there. And I've already got an estimate, $5,000 to cut the road and put a site on top of that bench. And you have tremendous views of the mountains to the north. But this is the bottom meadow valley of the property. And we're right on the, right here. This is, so the eastern boundary line goes due south from here and up and over. And then the western boundary line is up here past these trees. And I'll show you up there. I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna hike up this valley. And you can see how the treetops are pretty level up there. As soon as you get up through this valley, you can go this side and you can bench up there and do something. The land's very mild, and there's an old catch pond right in the center as you go up this aspen valley. Where I'm going to take you to, the easiest way is we make a road, which we're thinking about doing, but then the price will go up. Cutting across right here, the culvert goes in the creek, and then going up through the aspens, missing the aspens. We've already walked. Okay, this is the aerial of Tract 20, and we're sitting right here. You see the aspens? That's going west on the road. That's going back where we came from. And what I'm gonna do is hike up through these aspens and come up to this location right here. There's a nice flat top and it's a gentle walk going through here. That old catch pond is sitting right in here, so when we get good snows, that should end up with water in it. And then what we're gonna do is come back, like I said, and we're gonna drive around, go up into the ranch, and it's a short distance. Power comes to up here too, but you know, there's power right here. And drilling a water well down in this, I put one right over here, make my road crossing, and then go up in there, and it'll be easy to bring your line up. And you should only have about a 100-foot water well at $20 a foot. So anyway, we're going to drive up on top, and that's where I'm going to fly the drone from, because the land does shoot over and go back into the back canyon. This is a narrow knife ridge up here. Again, I'm going to repeat, the land is real gentle all through this. On this side, this is the topo. Sit in the same direction. There's the old catch pond, and here's that knife ridge. Then it goes down the canyon back below. And the road I'm talking about going up and doing, if you built one in this nice spot, is right there. We'll overlook this valley, knocking down a few of these trees, and you'll have the big mountain to the north, this direction. We got to get up there first and see. We didn't have very much snowfall this last year, and this thing has been running really slow. And actually, I'm not seeing water in it right now. I'm feeling it everywhere. But down here might be better. This would be where you would cross that with put a culvert in right here. These bedding areas. Yeah, water's barely flowing through it. Some good snows this winter, that'll change. So you can miss a lot of these aspens by cutting a road through here. Go through some of these dead trees. Really pretty in here. And this little draw leads up to that old catch pond. I'm gonna stay on the right side of it and go up to that little bench I've been pointing out. We haven't come very far. It's nice and level for mountains over there. And there's that bench right up here. So see, keep following this up. So this is where we've come from. So you just bring a little road up here, come around to this spot. This is right above the valley. Truck's right down there. Cut down a few of those, thin those out. You're gonna be able to overlook down there. You got plenty of room up here to do what you want. It's a pretty spot. And then you got the West Spanish Peak for a view. And it looks about like that when you're standing here. And when we get on top, you're going to be able to see both peaks. Nice spot. And that old catch pond's right back over there. I think I'll walk over there. Okay, we've come from that direction just a little ways, and there's the old catch pond. There's no water in it. Like I say, we didn't have hardly any snow last year, and that's what fills these tanks up. The dam's kind of low here. I guess that'd be like a spillway. And we got about 3/4 of the rain we usually get. 2 this year with the monsoons. This is the valley. It leads right back down to those aspens that we started at. Okay, we're just on the back side of the Catch Pond Dam now. Walking down that same valley with the aspens all in it. This is on the opposite side of the draw from where we walked up. It's got some nice meadows in here. Big old blue spruce. And the land's not real steep. I can see the top up there. It just kind of gently keeps going uphill with another bench up on top. Ready? Well, I was wrong. You can see the West Spanish Peak nicely, and we're down in this little park area, meadow area, where we went, and I showed you is up there on that bench. So you could come on this side, be around some of these nice trees, or just be here in this little park area. Or head up on this bench over here on this side, and you're gonna have really good views of that West Spanish Peak. Like I say, when you're standing here, it's a lot bigger than what the video shows. You know, like this spot over here. See how gentle it is over in there? Nice grass. The aspens are gonna take it out. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's even better view over here. Oh yeah. Yeah, then you have these real nice, oh yeah, aspens. And you don't have to do as much tree clearing to work. Nice park meadow area in the middle of the property. Water well not too far away. And again, mountains look about like that. A little bigger. Pretty. We're going to head back down through the aspens, across the creek, circle around, and get up on the top ridge. I'm going to fly a drone over the property. Okay, we're leaving the bottom portion of the property, and the northwestern corner pin is right here where the beginning of these trees, the bigger trees. Northwestern corner pin. Like I say, it takes off at an extreme angle that direction. That was the bench we were on in the first part of the video. Now we're going to go about a half mile up here and take a left into the ranch and go to the top. Mailboxes for the mails right up here, and FedEx and UPS, they deliver right here. Okay, this is the entrance to Cimarron Ranch, Council Road. We only go about a half mile. That's where we came from down there. I'll go about a half mile up in here, and that's where the top of Tract 20 is. Tract 20 starts at the top right here. So you've got power access on top and bottom. If you wanted to do something up here, you could. It is more difficult to get the views because you're on a knife's edge ridge, and you have to drop off about 15-20 feet, and then you're into that, you know, this gentle, see how gentle it is going down? You're into the gentle part of the terrain of the property. On the right hand side, you know, you see on the map, it drops off in the back side of this canyon, but that's only about 4 acres or so, maybe 5. The rest, the bulk of the property is on the north side. This is a southern facing slope, and you can see the old road here. And this is maintained. If somebody's staying here and living up here, the subdivision will maintain. Okay, one more thing. You can see a little bit of the bottom valley over here. It's steeper. And once you get down about 50-60 feet, then it starts to level out down in there. And I can see lots of aspens and blue spruce and stuff down there. Also from up here, it's kind of hard to see through the trees. You can see the Sangre de Cristo Mountains to the west. And again, they look about like that. Okay, we are through, but one last thing I wanted to show you. When you're leaving this ranch or your property, what it looks like. And again, that mountain is huge, and I'm not gonna zoom in right now, but we're just going back down to the main entrance and the main road, or the county road that we drove up on. And when you get down here, you would take a right to go back down to Aguilar, where we came from, or you could take a left and continue with the road on around back down to Highway 12 in Weston, Colorado, and go up to the mountain lakes that way. Or you can take off and go on that road I showed you, goes to the wilderness area, and go over the mountains to the mountain lakes and stuff up through the wilderness area. We are through.